Spontaneous generation, the life that springs from universal intelligence. Kardec explains that, according to ancient belief, living beings could spontaneously arise from decomposing matter. This idea, called spontaneous generation, dominated human thought for centuries until scientific experiments demonstrated that life always comes from another life. But Kardec proposes a deeper reflection. If visible life arises from another visible life, where did the first come from? Modern science confirms the principle of biogenesis, stated by Pasteur: life only proceeds from life. However, the essential question remains: how did life begin? Matter, by itself, has no consciousness or power of organization. It is the spiritual principle that, upon touching matter, makes it vibrate and organize. Thus, what the ancients called spontaneous generation was nothing more than the invisible action of the spirit on the elements of nature, awakening their vital potential. Kardec teaches that the universal cosmic fluid contains the germs of all living beings, ready to develop when conditions are favorable. These germs are not material particles, but latent vital principles, which become individualized as they encounter the appropriate environment. Therefore, life does not arise from nothing, but from the whole, that is, from the very bosom of divine creation. Modern astrobiology confirms this view by discovering complex organic molecules in meteorites, comets, and nebulae. The basic building blocks of life, amino acids, sugars, and nucleotides, are scattered throughout the cosmos. Earth, in its early days, received this potential living matter through cosmic impacts and stardust. Life, therefore, is a universal phenomenon, and the spirit is the architect that awakens it on each world. Kardec, with remarkable intuition, states that higher spirits can act as direct agents of creation, guiding natural processes intelligently. Just as humans create artifacts with material elements, spirits shape cosmic matter according to God's designs. The birth of the first beings was not a blind, spontaneous generation, but an oriented spiritual generation carried out by invisible intelligences that govern the universe. Contemporary synthetic biology demonstrates that life can be reconstructed in the laboratory from chemical components, but not created from nothing. Even in these experiments, a plan, an intention, an organizing principle are necessary, exactly what Kardec called the action of the spirit upon matter. This shows that life is inseparable from consciousness, whether human or divine. Quantum physics contributes an even deeper perspective. At the subatomic level, matter is not solid, but a field of probabilities that responds to observation, to the presence of consciousness. This behavior indicates that consciousness precedes form, echoing the spiritist thesis that spirit is the first principle and matter is a reflection of divine will. The so-called spontaneous generation, viewed from this perspective, is the materialization of life through the interaction of spirit with the cosmic fluid. Evolutionary biology shows that once the vital process begins, forms multiply and diversify under the laws of natural selection. But Kardec emphasizes, the law of evolution is the unfolding of the vital principle, not its origin. Life does not arise by chance. It is the organized expression of universal intelligence in action. Thus, spontaneous generation, in the spiritual sense, is the manifestation of the latent life that exists everywhere. God does not need to create life anew every moment. He sowed it in the universe as an eternal fire, which ignites when it encounters the breath of the Spirit. Each planet, each being, and each atom are laboratories of continuous creation. If this reflection has brought you a new understanding of life, share it, because understanding spontaneous generation is realizing that life does not arise from chance, but from consciousness, not from chaos, but from the Spirit, God's thought in motion.